Hello everyone and welcome to Lovella's Coloring. In this video I am going to be sharing with you a re-release of the coloring book called Far Out Space Adventure, and the creators of this book is Melissa Volkman, who is the designer and creator, Chris Shepard, the editor, and Gali Putra, who is the illustrator. So let me go ahead and let you guys see the flip through of this awesome book, and I will see you afterwards. Enjoy! Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed seeing the flip through of this wonderful coloring book, and I thank you so much for watching it. I did do a review of the first edition of this coloring book, which I have right over here, and so you can see several similarities and also differences between the two books. First off, the size of the books. This one is slightly smaller but same square shape. This one is a thinner book that was published through Amazon, and I believe Melissa now has her own publisher for this book, and you can see that it's much thicker than the other one, and that is because there are several new illustrations in this book, and it is also printed on wonderful cardstock. And then also they do have the same cover, only in the newer one there is a glossy effect on the helmet, which is awesome. Really nice. And some of the same, there's a lot of similarities with the book. Like I said, there are several new illustrations in this one, but it is the same thing where you have the illustration on one side, then the same illustration is on the back, but with some blacked out areas. And for me, this was really great to color in because of the effects where when I did this coloring, it's all in markers, so I knew that with the Amazon paper it was going to leak right through to the other side, so you can see the colors, which makes it look so cool. And then you see the blacked out areas here. My son also did a coloring in here, which is this one. Did a lot of blending in here. And then when you look at the other side, right here, really nice. I really like this, but you don't get to see the little sunset that he colored right over there. But yeah, that was a cool thing that I liked about this book. The only thing is, like, I knew this was only going to be a marker coloring book because you know, the two-sided illustrations, but I didn't mind that. I have a lot of just marker kinds of books, so this is the Amazon printed first edition. And then when you saw the flip through, you noticed that it is thicker cardstock. Each of the pages are perforated. And here's some tips and tricks, trying different tools, which I did on the coloring I did from this book. Prevent transfer. She has a blotter sheet in here, which is this one that you can tear off. Again, it is perforated. And then using gradients, blending shades, explore color wheels, make it yours, add doodles to it. I'm not really good at adding doodles, so I kind of like outline the doodles that is already there, I think. I can't remember if I did. I think just like a small portion of it, but yeah, just adding your own doodles if you like doing that. So lots of great tips and tricks here. Some pages for color testing, swatches, test your mediums, and then of course all of the illustrations. Then again, it is on both sides. The only thing for me, I think, that's different with coloring on it, I did use markers. So here's the back side of it. It doesn't go through all the way because it is cardstock. I won't try to color the same colors on this side because I know it's going to seep through to the other side. I also used watercolor on this portion here. You can see it's a little bit warped, but not too much. I did have it flattening under several books for I think 2 days, so it flattened out really nice. And also with the cardstock, it did very well with watercolor. So I will also include in this video my coloring of that page, which I'll show at the end. And just a little bit of information, a little more information about this book. Melissa, who is the designer and creator of this book, started a crowdfunding campaign on BackerKit. It actually started on January 11th, which was her birthday. So happy birthday, Melissa. And the crowdfunding campaign runs until February 11th. If you are interested in this book, please visit their website, which is faroutcolor.com. I will also have the link to that website down below in the video description. Through there, you can find out announcements for the release dates, giveaways, and also freebies that they have at their site. So through the speed coloring portion of this video, I am going to be doing a voiceover. It is several clips of video that were put together from several days of coloring on that one page. I did have to separate it a bunch of times because we were moving a lot of our furnitures from the townhouse that we put up on sale on this past month in December, and we actually closed today on the 22nd, which was a week earlier than we expected. I think we thought we were going to be closing around the 29th, so we had a little more time, but they told us last week we're going to close on the 22nd, so we had to find homes for some of the furnitures that we didn't want to keep. And yeah, so that took a lot of time. So during the evenings I tried to do some coloring, and then I also did one during the time I was homeschooling my son. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it regardless of, you know, the lightings and stuff. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoy. I will see you guys later at the end. Take care. So here we go. I am using Ohuhu art markers. Those are alcohol markers with the brush tip. And the color I'm using right now is PB11, which is marine blue. And it is a color that I use a lot, especially for background. So I was trying to work fast. I was kind of scared that it's going to run out. So you can see that it is streaking, and it's because I am not really saturating the cardstock. So it is leaving a lot of streaks. And so I'm not really worried so much about it because I am planning to use Posca markers for the stars in the sky. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. So this is just me showing you how it would look like on cardstock using the alcohol markers. And here I'm continuing the sky in those small portions. The markers I am using is a brush tip, and then the other end it is the fine tip, so I'm able to get into the small areas of that portion of the page. And I also continue the same color on the other side. And then for the mountains in the background, I am using 4 colors, but for the darker colors, I am using G326, which is bright blue, and then BG68, which is turquoise blue. So this is what I'm using as the darker portions of the mountains in the background. And here I am using 2 different colors so you can see how well it blends, starting off with the dark colors and then blending it out with the lighter of the 2. And very easy, great cardstock, can really blend those colors in. I think I did also go over it a little bit more, so you can see that you can really play around with the alcohol markers on this paper or cardstock. And then after finishing that side, I continue and do the same thing on the right side. And then after that, I bring out the two lighter colors for the mountains. And starting with the darker part, it's G322, that is pale aqua mint. And then for the lightest, it is BG4, which is mint blue. And then so same thing with the darker ones, blends very nicely. Start off with the darker ones and then with the lighter one. And then for this wave over here, I kind of like got stuck. I wasn't sure how I was going to color it, but I went ahead and colored the inside and it turned out really great. So I did again the same thing to the other side. And after I finish up the right side with the aqua blue, I add a little bit more of that color to the small little sections in the left and the right on that little plant. I do also add more of the same color gradient, but after I play with the watercolors. So I forgot to share the color palette that I was basing the colors off of. It's number 376 from the Color Cube by Sarah Renee Clark. And so yeah, I use some of the colors from over there. So here are the oranges. The three colors I use from lightest to dark is YR170 Chrome Orange, YR190 Cadmium Orange, and then the darkest is R070 Agate. And so same thing with the blues. I lay down the dark color, then for the three colors I laid a medium, and then the lightest to blend it all in. So it blends very nice again on this cardstock, very easy to use and a lot of fun, just coloring it in. And I do the same on the other side. And like with the blues, I add a little bit of the orange into the plants down below. And again, I will add a little bit more orange after I apply watercolors. And after finishing up with the oranges, I am now starting the watercolor portion, which is the bottom of this illustration. I am using new watercolors that I picked up from Kuretake Gansai Tambi. These are the granulating colors. I am using Aurora Pink, which is the color that I'm pointing to on the box. And yeah, so new to me. I've never used granulating watercolors, and just the examples that I see on the swatch that I made here, it's really great to use, especially for space themes. So it was perfect for this page. And this set comes with 5 colors and 1 empty pan. So you can see the empty pan there that I'm using with a lot of water to see how it looked like with the color watered down. But immediately after applying it, I didn't like it watered down. So I decided to just go off the filled pan with the Aurora Pink and then just keep getting the water if I need it. So the cardstock was working very well with the watercolor. It didn't go through or anything. So here I'm just applying it very generous with the water. You'll see that I add a lot of water, but because this is new to me, I wasn't sure how I should lay it down, how the effects would show up with the way I am applying it. So I am just laying it all down. So here it goes. And here I noticed that I've am really adding a lot of water, especially there. So I dabbed it with a paper towel, and you can see the blue from the granulating colors popping out, which was very exciting. So I just continued adding more, just filling it up. I did not notice any pilling from the paper, from the cardstock. So yeah, again, it works very well. So it works well with alcohol markers and here with watercolor. And I wasn't satisfied. I didn't really let it dry. I just continuing on applying the granulating watercolor on top of each other. I was trying to smooth it out because I think from my angle, the way I was applying it, it looks streaky. So I just was trying to smooth it out and trying to add shadows now. But I noticed that some portion it was a little too dark. So I do go back and try to blend it out. And here, again, trying to add a little bit more shadows and keep applying. I didn't really leave enough drying time in between, so you can see that the cardstock really works very well, like I said earlier, with the watercolor. And then you can see, again, I did not let it dry. I just went back and with lots of water, just trying to blend it and try to take out the streaks. And I also add a little bit more water drops from my water cup, and then also from the watered down watercolor on the pan, just to see if it will leave some kind of effects on it. I wasn't sure if we'll see it, but I just wanted to add it. And then here is 2 days later, after it was flattening out on several books. You can see how it looks like. This is it dried and flattened. And there is a little bit of a metallic sheen. I don't know if you can see it from here, but yes, really love the effects of the granulating watercolor. It works well with the color palette that I was using for this page. So yes, I am going to go ahead and continue to apply all of the other colors that I have for this page. I'm also going to use some of the colors that I used before, the oranges and the blues, but I'm going to start off with the tree. So here I am going to be coloring the tree with 2 colors, starting with YR9 Yellow Ochre and YR10 Brun, BRUN, just for the little trees from the left portion and also on the right. And then I'm going to also use the same color for the tree, but I'm going to add 2 more browns, which is the darker portion for like the shading area for the tree. So the 2 colors that I use, starting from the lighter of the dark colors, YR91 Natural Oak and YR92 Chocolate. So I start off with chocolate, and then I use the natural oak to blend it out. And here just get and continue, starting off with the chocolate to the natural oak, and just applying it, using the lines that are already there to help me decide where to lay down the darker shades. And then here I'm coming in with Brun and just going over again using the illustrator's lines there to help me decide where to lay it down. And then the lightest color, which is Yellow Ochre. So this color I do use a lot, so you can see that it will start running out around this portion. I'm really trying to lay it down. There's like, I can see that there's not enough juice coming out, so I end up switching it around to the chisel side just to get some more and blend it out. And after blending out the big tree, I go back and try to darken up the shades on the smaller trees, and then we are going to start on those little stone thingies. I color it stone color, so this is CG050 neutral gray, and I will be using pencils over those two. And also for the tree tops, which I am using a base color of R10 Pastel Pink to go with the color swatch that I picked out from the color cube. And you can see that this marker is not used as much because it's very, very juicy. So here, just finishing it up, and I will be using wax pencils on that portion of the tree. So here I'm using the oil-based pencils, which is the Faber-Castell Polychromos. I'm using Cold Gray 4 233 and Cold Gray 6 235. And with the oil-based pencils on this cardstock, it's just so easy to just blend with the alcohol base. Very quick, very easy. Just get in there, add my shades, and it's done. So I do the same to the other side. And then with the tree, I am using Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, which is again wax-based pencils. The colors that I'm using from the lightest to the darkest is Deco Pink PC 1014, Process Red PC 994, and Magenta, which is PC 930. So I start off with the darkest, Magenta, then Process Red, and then use the Deco Pink to blend it all in. So here's the whole treetop completed, and after blending it out with the Deco Pink, I come back in with the Magenta to darken up some of the areas that I want darker. And I also use this same color on the watercolor portion to add shadow under that little island. And then I forgot to mention that I ended up coloring the rest of this page, the oranges on the rocks, and then the ground, and those two circles, the blue-green color. And the last, I used the gold Posca. I believe this is the 1M, to use as embellishments for this page. I didn't want to use any other embellishments, just this one gold one to keep it a limited palette. And so I used this on the other side. I used it as an accent on the little stone thing right there, and then the lines in the tree, and also on top of the watercolor for ripples. So here is the completed coloring from the Far Out Space Adventure coloring book by Melissa. Thank you so much for sending me your newly updated coloring book, and I can't wait for its release. I hope that you all enjoyed seeing the flip through of this new book and my review of it and the coloring of this great page. So I thank you all again. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Thank you to Melissa, to your editor and illustrator. Thank you guys for creating such a awesome book. I will see you all in my next video. Please take care, keep safe, and happy colorings. Bye-bye.